September 18th, 2023. This is the S&P 500 E-Futures Mini on the 2000 tick chart on the NinjaTrader 8 platform. If you go down to the descriptions below, you can see where I thought I saw setups as well as where I took my trades. And today there was no real economic data to move the markets. As a matter of fact, price action was kind of slow today. There was some choppy price action, but overall, I didn't see too many setups that I liked. And this is FOMC week, meaning on Wednesday, the FOMC rate decision is going to come out. I think most people are anticipating no rate change, but that can clearly change because they could decide that they're going to bump it up a quarter point. On top of that, whether they decide to bump the rates, keep it the same, or in the very, very far-fetched condition where they just actually bring a rate down, which is very unlikely, you don't know how the market's going to react. So it looked like today was kind of a wait and see day. I anticipate tomorrow, being Tuesday, will also be kind of slow because the FOMC meetings starts actually tomorrow, but the rate decision comes out on Wednesday, as well as Jerome Powell comes out and gives some color. So today and tomorrow are probably going to be a little bit slow, and then Wednesday could be, well, if history is any indication, Wednesday could be kind of pretty choppy, kind of volatile. So I'm going to go into the trades today. I actually took 2 trades, and I think there was a possible trade a couple other areas, and I was green on both. So I'm going to go ahead and go into the pre-market here. Originally, pre-market looked like it might have been a smaller trading range, but then there was a huge sell-off. Well, huge is a relative term because the overall total range today was about 20 points, you could say, until later when it broke out. Then total trading range was about 14 plus 12, maybe about 26 points. So the pre-market, things are chopping around. I'm not around for the pre-market. So what I do see here, though, on the market open, I saw this as a new high, clearly. First entry long, second entry long potential. There's also a supporting up channel coming up right here. And I thought, okay, well, this is a third confirmation of the yellow uptrend. It's a good signal bar. Prices are making higher lows every time, but I'm skipping it just because this is right 40 seconds after the market opened, and there's already been a couple of candles that have been printed. But I just wanted to be super sure. Had the setup been stronger, I might have taken it, but during the first couple of minutes, I'm just a little more hesitant. Then you can actually get a second entry long. So it's actually from here, new high, first entry long, second entry long, then another first entry long. Here it's setting up. It's bouncing off this yellow channel again. And it's a fourth confirmation now. It feels a little congested, but I thought this might have been a possible trade if I was more aggressive. EMA is flattening out. Turns out you would have gotten filled on the next candle, and the next candle after that, one of these two likely would have gotten you your scalp. Prices then continue moving. I'm more confident that this is a yellow channel, is a true channel, because I do have the confirmation touches down here, confirmation touches up here. Now, before, what also gave me pause was I wasn't 100% sure if the bottom part of this channel was kind of slightly modified. So I wasn't 100% sure that, it wasn't a full support until later I dragged it down and actually had them contacting the very, very lows. But by then the trade already passed and I decided I just wanted to skip this one. And by the time price action was here, I was okay having skipped that trade. It wasn't just kind of like screaming at you. Then prices continue, chops down, breaks through. I'm thinking it's potentially in a trading range now. And this is actually where I take my first setup. I have a new high here. It's first entry long, pulls back. It's getting ready to make a second entry long. And so when actually it confirms the second entry long here, the signal bar isn't good though. But what happened was this downward green channel had already broken, had an overshoot here and a complete overshoot here. So it's a break and made a new low. So I'm thinking downtrend on this green channel has played out. I'm wondering if this yellow channel is still in play. So after it broke out, made a new low and made one attempt up, then pulled back, it's made a second attempt up. So it didn't quite make it back into the yellow channel. So now it came back down, and I'm seeing this as a potential second attempt to test this high. Actually, excuse me, that didn't make any sense. I think it could be a second attempt to test this most recent high because it's this upward green channel. It broke out, made one push up right here, pulls back. It's congested though, and I'm thinking it might make a second push up. But what actually happened was when this opened here and shopping around, took a little while to close, but when it flashed up, I had a confirmed second entry long. I thought it was kind of pushing back up, so I actually entered one tick above with quick scalp, and then I was able to quickly scalp out. Now I kept my stop loss right down here. It's about almost 3 points, but I was just kind of going for a quick scalp, thinking it might push back up. I think it was good enough for a 2 point scalp if I had pushed for it, but I'm just kind of keeping it 1 point because I think 2 points gets it pretty close to this recent high, and I just didn't want to risk having an early rejection. Prices continue moving up. I take my second entry here, excuse me, my second trade here. I saw this as a new low. So first entry short, second entry short. I also noticed that I might be potentially having some kind of resistance up here. So it looks like it's having trouble breaking through here. And the bottom for potential range, I wasn't 100% sure. I was playing with the idea of maybe it's actually here and had some overshoots, maybe here, maybe all the way down here. But it seemed like it kind of fit pretty well, roughly about here. Looked like there's a little bit of support. There was a tiny overshoot here. So what I saw here, though, is I saw this as a potential failed second entry. So it broke down. The EMA is rejecting, excuse me, the EMA is supporting, is rejecting any prices of pushing it through. And I'm thinking of this uptrend, it wants to test this high. There was enough room to the localized top, which was this blue line here. So I went ahead and took an entry one tick above, flashed up, and I was able to quickly get out. Pops around. Looks like, again, it's good enough for a 2 point scalp, but I only went for 1 point, 5 ticks. 2 points, though, you are pushing right against this potential resistance, which has shown to push prices back down before, so I was a little weary of that. Then prices chopped around. It looks like it falls into this orange trading range. And I noticed like it made all these consecutive touches on the top of this orange as well as this blue range. So I knew there's some kind of resistance here. And this is actually where a trade, I think, happened, but I was not on it, unfortunately. So you see this is a new low. It's a first entry short, second entry short. So when you see this, though, you're seeing a potential fail breakout. So when it pushed up, you're thinking, okay, actually might push on through, but I'm keeping in mind it could be a failed breakout. And when it closed way back down here, it is above the high. I had really wanted this to be a red candle, then I feel more confident that it's moving back into the range. But in hindsight, I think this, although it might be a little more aggressive, it was a potentially good trade to have taken. It's also, if it would close up red, then it would have double confirmed the second entry short, making me feel more confident because it's red, good signal bar, and a fail breakout. But I didn't take it, and when it flashed down, now it just feels like it's too late to try to chase this because it's too close to the other side now. But this was, I think, if you're more aggressive, a possible trade because history has proven that you're at the top and the top of the high, excuse me, at the highs of the trading range. And so every indication seems like it is coming back down with enough room. Even if you had your trading range tighter, there's still enough room from here all the way down to there. But unfortunately, I was watching it and I watched the trade go without me, and that's okay though. Then it crashes through. It looks like there's a fail breakout here, continues moving up. I saw this as a new low, first entry short, second entry short. The second entry short looks like it's about to fail because this is a very, very strong bullish bar pushing all the way back up. I also notice there's a new high here, the first entry long. It's about to create a second entry long. So everything is dependent on this next candle. If this next candle breaks above this guy, then you're going to have a confirmed second entry long, but you also have a confirmed failed second entry short. However, even though this next candle, if it breaks above, I'm going to be wondering, how it closes, how it sets up, because if it ends up being doji, even though it confirms these two setups, it will feel very risky. So I'm just waiting to see. On top of that, these are huge candles, so it's like a 3 point risk if you wanted to enter right here. And thinking that you might push it to the top, you're There's just a few things that are a little confusing and a few things that made it feel a little dicey. So here, as I said, if you took an entry, you'd be in the trade now, one tick above. But look at how this guy closed. It now feels like you're worried. You're wondering, am I at the midline of this trading range? Is it going to push back down or is it actually going to push back up? So you do have a confirmed failed second entry short, second entry long, but this taking a long position just feels really risky at this point. But you know, you're not really sure. So I waited. I didn't take a trade. I was waiting for a higher low confirmation, but I wanted the higher low, either to break through this completely or just show me something else, maybe because if the higher low forms somewhere here, you still are wondering if you're going to end up pushing into this top of this range. And unfortunately, you don't get a higher low. Prices then continue chopping. This is very congested right here. Pushes through. So far, it's behaving pretty well because I draw this support now. And I wasn't sure where the top of this red channel was. So originally I actually had it down here. I was trying to make it fit, but it didn't look too well. So at the time I was thinking maybe it's something like this. Prices continue moving up. It falls into the green channel, breaks out. I'm expecting a test of this high. It does, it breaks, it tests the high. It kind of consolidates in this choppy area, starts breaking back through. So here I'm wondering, so I'm pretty firm and pretty sure about the support here, but I'm not sure about this resistance up here. So I start playing and I actually had a couple of lines, this one here, and then this final one, I thought, okay, maybe it's actually going to be something like this. This touch here, but I don't trust it enough to take a short off of yet. I need another confirmation. However, if prices come down to the bottom, I'll feel more comfortable taking a long because this looks like it is holding. Prices continue chopping, moves up. Okay, so now I got my third confirmation. I like what I see. I think I have a true channel here, although it's kind of large. Looks like a two-tier channel. Things were below the midline, which is the dotted one. Now it's acting above. Overall sentiment is bullish. And I see this setup. I see a new high, first entry long, second entry long. Now, second entry long, it formed above the EMA, which is fine, but it feels a little risky, and I don't like the way this looked. And I'm thinking in the back of my mind, could this potentially be a failed second entry long? But this failed second entry long is above the EMA. Overall trend is going up, so taking a short would be counter trend. So I wasn't sure, and I thought this could have been like it could have been the second attempt. So this is a break of this yellow channel. So it's a first attempt, second attempt. So this could have been the second attempt. So indeed, if I took a short, my prices might be coming down, but I'm also running into the EMA now. So there's a few conflicting things. Counter trend, I'm running into the EMA. It could also just be one big leg, which is a screen one, in which case I don't have a second attempt up. So do I go long? Do I go short? I have no idea. And there's not really enough room to scalp out before I hit this localized low and the EMA. So all these things are telling me just wait, just hold off. And even when this was a second entry long here, this is a terrible signal bar. So it's a little confusing. So I definitely decided I just had to wait. Then I do see this lower high. So it's confirming this failed second entry long, lower high. It's a good signal bar. It's a first break of this green channel. So I would expect prices to come back into the green channel and test the lows. But there's not really enough room to scalp out from here down to this double bottom confidently. So I had to wait. Even if I was thinking it's going to move down to here, I wasn't 100% sure and firm on where my trend line bottom, trend channel bottom would be. So maybe a little bit tighter, maybe a little bit looser. I'm not sure. So even though it's a lower high, I like that it's below the EMA, but this setup just doesn't look safe enough for me. Prices then continued going down. It would have worked though. Then I saw this is a new low, first entry short, second entry short, confirmed second entry short. It lands right at the EMA though, and it formed above the EMA, which I'm not too keen on, especially a second entry short on a very, very clear uptrend. So yes, I was thinking, okay, touch the other side, could make one leg down, pull back, and it could be starting a second leg down to touch the other side. But knowing that it also touched the EMA, EMA is flattening. It's a little confusing. So if this is truly one leg down, pull back, and a second leg down, then it would be worthwhile. but I wasn't 100% sure I'm reading the chart correctly, but I did see this as a first break, first attempt up. So there's more things going for it to go short than definitely to go long, because there's no reason to go long unless you think there's going to be a failure here. But just since it landed right at the EMA, I just had to sit on my hands and just be, I guess, a little more cautious. Then here creates a lower high. I think this is a possible trade. It's a lower high. Unfortunately, if this had closed bearish, kind of a red candle, I would have probably jumped on it because it's showing first entry short, second entry short, confirmation of lower high. Clearly one leg down, pull back. This is starting second leg down. And what caused me to hesitate though is it kind of closed somewhat neutral green. And had I taken it, it looked like it would have worked. So unfortunately I missed that trade though. And prices continue chopping, fluctuates. You would have been safe if you kept your stop one up here. Now makes it all the way to the bottom. So now I'm wondering, is the strength of this supporting red channel bottom trend line going to be strong enough to cause a bounce to come right back up? So I'm watching. I see a new low, first entry short comes up. This creates a second entry short. The market here got a little bit ugly, but I saw it as a good signal bar. But here, you're looking for a second entry short potentially, but second entry short setup, but you're running right into this thing, which previously I've given a lot of respect to, saying, well, this obviously is support. So to suddenly reverse my thinking and think it's going to push through for a quick scalp is very risky. There's no indication yet that it's going to do that. Here you have a confirmed second entry short now. Confirmed second entry short, it broke through. There's nothing to say that this next candle, which is yet to print, could pull right back in. So it's a little risky to think, okay, I have a failed breakout. Failed breakout, moving back in. I have no idea. I need more price action to tell me. It did make the measured move now. One leg down, pull back, second leg down. So here, the measured move's been made. So there's a good reason to believe it's going to pull right back up because overall sentiment has been going up. So to take a short definitely wasn't in my radar at the time. Looked like it would have worked though. Perhaps with more experience, seeing this more, or the contextual wise, maybe there's something I'm missing. But at the time, I saw this as second entry short, but I didn't want to take it just because for the reason I described above. Then prices continue chopping. Things are slowing down. Things are looking a little bit congested. You do have a new high here, first entry long, second entry long, but so this is a very doji-ish bar, even though it's bullish, but that doesn't give me any warm and fuzzies to take this trade. Then prices continue chopping. Not sure why I drew this. I think it should have been probably something more like this. It's getting very close to the end of the day, this last 10 minutes, which I don't want to be trying to attempt or risk anything since I'm already 2 wins up. Prices then continue chopping and it goes into the close. So that's how I saw the chart today. I don't think it was particularly tricky. There's probably this trade here, which I thought was worthwhile to take. This one here was a little bit unsure because it was just right at the support. So I wasn't 100% warm and fuzzy about it. And this trade here, I think, was probably worth a trade. I was just a little bit afraid of this clearly bearish bar, but not bearish enough. So maybe my rules are a little bit too tight for this particular setup. It's probably worth taking. So I think I missed 2 potential trades. This one here, and I'll just go ahead and say this one here. Even though this one, this lower high, was afraid that there wasn't enough room to scalp out. So that's how I saw the charts today. Hopefully that was helpful.